boys and girls, welcome back to our classroom. We have another sight word this week. But before I tell you about our sight word this week, let's review some sight words from the past couple weeks. So let's just go through them one at a time. This one is R. This one's one of the tricky ones because it starts with an A, but it doesn't make that ah sound. So you just have to remember it just by sight. That's why they're called sight words. You should just be able to say them as soon as you see them. You, am, is, look, can, see, I, and our new sight word this week is called like. So L-I-K-E, like. So our like booklet this week is a farm theme because we've been doing lots of farm themed stuff. So let's write our name first. Mrs. Clayton's going to start with a capital. I say this every week to remind you guys so you don't get stuck with writing capital letters in the middle of your name. Sometimes I call that them sneaking in. Let's open up our book. So the first thing you do when you open a page is you look at the pictures to try to figure out what it says. So I see horses, I see the so I know this word is probably going to be horses. And it says I, that's one of our sight words, like, our new sight word. Now remember with this sight word, our L and our K are tall letters and our I and our E are small letters. I like all the horses, period. What about on this page? What do you see on this page that we're gonna like? Cows, and I see this box again. So let's put in our sight words first and then we'll talk about this box. So I like, L-I-K-E. I like all the cows. Now, boys and girls, usually when Mrs. Clayton does these boxes, each box is for a different sound. But Mrs. Clayton kind of made a mistake on the book. So each box for this one right now is going to have a new letter. But our last sound in the word cow actually has two letters that make one sound, that ow sound. So I'm going to tell you after you guys figure out what's the first sound you hear in cow. You're right, it could be a C or a K. So you just have to kind of get used to seeing the words and then you go, oh, it's a C word because that's what looks correct. So now we have that ow sound and that's going to be O-W. Cows. What do you hear right at the end? Cows. You're right. It's an S. So each box has a letter in it this time. I like all the cows. Let's go to the next one. What's on this page? Pigs. So we're going to write I, and then our sight word. What's our sight word? Like. L-I-K-E. I like all the pigs. We have another box here, boys and girls. So we're going to have to sound it out. So what does it start with? Pa. You're right, a P. Now, I'm going to go right to the end because sometimes when Mrs. Clayton does it, she likes to do the first and the last sound because it's sometimes a little bit easier to identify those ones. So pigs. So I know that that has an S at the end. Let's do pig. Pig. You're right, that's a G. Now it's for the trickiest one, our vowel letter in the middle. P, I. Like I'm so itchy. You're right, that's an I. Sometimes our I, our and our sound kind of similar, so they're tricky. And as soon as you guys get practiced at them all the time, you'll start to hear the difference right away. So now we have this animal. This is a goat. All right, I like all the goats. And if you've ever been to the petting zoo that's kind of close to Grand Prairie, I always love it when they have baby goats. So I like the goats. Go to the next one. These ones are ducks. Now I hope that we get some ducks hatched this week if we didn't have any last week, because they're getting close. I know that they're ready. So let's do our 2 sight words first. I like, L-I-K-E, all the ducks. Once again, boys and girls, these aren't going to be sound boxes, they're letter boxes right now. So let's start with the first letter. What do you think the word duck starts with? You're right, that was easy. A D. Make sure you do a D, a bump and then the line, so that it's facing the right way. Because if you do the line and then the bump, it's gonna be a buck instead of a duck. And we want to have ducks. So let's go to the last, ducks. You know, that's the S on the end. Now, we have 3 letters in the middle. We know one's gonna be a vowel, and then we're gonna have probably some more letters. Up. For a U, that's our smile letter. Duck. Now, I only hear one sound, boys and girls, but you know what? There's actually 2 letters together, and it's both of the letters that make that K sound. It's our C and our K. That's a little bit of a trickier word. I like all the ducks. And do you know what these little guys are right here? They're chicks. So we're gonna write I like, L-I-K-E. I like all the chicks that peep, peep, peep. Exclamation mark at the end. Okay, boys and girls, I hope that you can fill in that booklet. Maybe color the pages if you get the chance. And I'll see you in the next video.